Hi Aquarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Magician card. If you had a magic wand, what would you wave and what would you wish? This week, right, we've got that powerful eclipse that's happening in the sign of Gemini. So it's offering your sun, moon or ascendant sign its trine, right? So this is going to be truly beneficial for you, but you have to ask yourself, what do I want to do with this? Ultimately, the Magician card isn't a card that says you can have whatever you want. It says you can create whatever you want. So what are you going to do with this energy? You have to do something with it. You can't just sit around and hope that it comes to you. This is also the energy of promotions. It's the energy of powerful people. It's the energy of movers and shakers. And then for those of you that are on similar paths to myself, whether that is tarot, astrology, whether it's, you know, magic, the occult, whatever you want to call it, this week you are being asked to take an earnest look at how you are walking your path. Are you walking it sort of, you know, dragging your feet and your heels, or are you about it? All right. So remember, the Magician card can literally represent people that work in or around the mystical traditions or arts. So as such, you know, in some way, shape or form, pay attention, right? For your for your actions and options, you have the Fool card, right? So this is you guys. This is you guys, us guys, we guys, taking not only a leap of faith, but this suggests a brand new what's the word, a brand new I want to say avenue, but this is you seeking something new, basically, right? You're going in a new direction. This is you pivoting. This is you changing direction. This is you taking a huge leap of faith in some way, shape or form, that you can create whatever it is that you want in life. This is you tapping into that magician energy, maybe a little bit haphazardly, maybe because the Fool is nescient, right? And so don't forget, yes, obviously it's fresh starts, new beginnings. It's the, you know, the pure potential, right? So if the Fool card were the pure potential, the Magician card would be where that potential is literally shaped or directed towards something. This is where, you know, the unconscious becomes conscious. So this is a very powerful week for you, Aquarius, right? You really need to pay attention this week. You know, and it's not always, when I say pay attention, it's not always like you have to stand there and be alert at everything that happens. It just means be mindful, be present, be focused, be here, be in the now, so that you are aware when things come up that are synchronistic or mystical, or, you know, have that feeling of what I affectionately know as other. Right? You gotta be aware in order to feel that world, when it's touching, when it's encroaching, when it's whispering, you know, when you get your goosebumps moments, right? You need to be aware of that and not just bat them off, you know. Anyway, soapbox moment, come back, Raph, come back. The Fool card, because it is in the actions and options, this is something new, some new endeavor that you're doing, but it is nescient. Remember, the Fool, it's the start of something, right? It's just the beginning. And, you know, the figure in the card has the black rod on his back. That suggests that he's not consciously aware of what he's doing as yet, which is why the Magician's wand is white, because he comes out of unconsciousness and into consciousness. This is the different, or one of the big differences between the cards. Anyway, for your communications and conversations, you have the Knight of Swords. So this, coupled with the Magician card, can be that trickster energy of Mercury. And Mercury is currently retrograde and is wreaking havoc on pretty much everything, especially my scheduler at this moment in time. That being said, your Knight of Wands, your Knight of Swords can sometimes be conflict. Sometimes it can be harsh words spoken, aggressive communication that takes place. With the Magician card in tow, this could be that you are having a tough conversation with a person in a position of authority in your life. But it could just as easily be that you are having a meeting or a get together with somebody who happens to be a mover and a shaker. And because you've got the Fool card here in the actions and options, there's two ways that this can play out. You could be the new person coming into the group, and so therefore everybody's kind of like, you know how the new girl always gets treated. Right, all jokes aside, that could be one element of this, but another way that this could play out is you are connecting with a person that is very powerful, or could be a mover and a shaker that could really help you connect with the world, or certainly open up a new door or a new avenue for you. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, this could be a spontaneous opportunity that opens up that leads to an interview. For those of you that are working for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, one of the things that you want to be aware of this week, you are likely to be directed towards something that feels like it's bigger than you. So maybe you have this kind of like, oh my gosh, that's a big mountain and I'm expected to climb it and I have no idea how I'm going to do it. Maybe that's the case, but maybe, just maybe, it's not. And maybe you know exactly what you're doing, and maybe you have all of the skills that you need at your disposal. Remember, on the Magician's table, he's got all four of the elements, all four of the tools that represent those elements. And he is the fifth element. And so therefore, everything is present for you to be or do or create what you need to in order to reach that moment of success. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, well, look, this week you could discover that you have a passion for something in the mystical realm, astrology, numerology, tarot, paganism, Wicca, Tai Chi, like whatever you want to call it. Like it could be anything, right? Anything. For your money and materials, you have the Lovers card. So there are some great options coming up for you this week, right? And it looks to be like there are several of them. Now, I find this really interesting because the Knight of Swords has a very Geminian energy, and the Lovers card is literally Gemini ruled. The fact that this eclipse is taking place in the sign of Gemini with the Mercury retrograde that is taking place in the sign of Gemini, and the Magician card represents the energy of Mercury. There's something here that says this week is going to be a very big week for you. Very big week for you indeed. For your money, as in your specifically your finances, there are options on the table that are going to be available to you as of this week, and some of them might seem really monumental. You might kind of be like, ooh, deer in the headlights, but it's a good opportunity nonetheless. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, look after your arms, your hands, your fingers, this whole general sort of area, and this part of like the upper part of your chest. Not to say that there's any issues there, but just look out for it. This would be a really good week to start a new cardio regime. And then finally, for your home and environment, it's right underneath the Fool card. If you've been looking for a new home, wanting to manifest a new home, etc., this is the week to do it, really. For your love and relations, you've got the Three of Wands coupled with the Knight of Swords and the Magician. You could be meeting somebody this week for sure. It's likely to be on your travels if you're in a place in the world that is open enough for you to do some sort of travel. Doesn't necessarily have to be overseas travel. It could literally be in your local environment when you're going to the local shop, or maybe you're on your way to visit friends and family, or to go to a bar or whatever, if that's possible where you are. If it's not, it's very likely to be through the internet. It's very likely to be through the World Wide Web, etc. But you could be meeting somebody that is very different to you, and quite spontaneously as well. Maybe you message the wrong person by accident. Maybe you swipe right on somebody by accident, and you end up talking and you absolutely hit it off. Remember, there is a bit of a nebulous energy, a confusing energy going on, so just be sure that the magician or the person that you're meeting isn't the trickster. Keep your wits about you, obviously, but outside of that, be open to the possibilities. For those of you that are partnered, married, in relationships, this is really nice because it suggests that some venture that you and your partner are either hoping to do together or your partner was hoping would take off actually looks like it's doing that, and it's going to benefit you because they're going to obviously want to shower you with some sort of gift or possibly even a windfall. It could be that there are monies coming into the relationship as well that you hadn't anticipated. So your eclipse message for the 10th of June is the gate 14 and luck. Now, especially if you're an ascendant Aquarius, this eclipse is taking place in your 5th house, which is known as the house of luck. So find a way to tap into that, right? Really, really interesting reading this week. For you Aquarians, my wonderful sun sign brothers and sisters, I truly hope you have an amazing week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.